What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a win. We won a game again, and we won a very important game. Obviously, you beat Udinese 2-0, and you're still in the race for top four. Well, actually, you are in top four right now, but you need to beat Venezia because Roma did beat, obviously, Milan. So it's 1 point. You know what you have to do. You have to go to relegation side Venezia, who's still fighting to stay in Serie A next week, and you're gonna need to win that game because Roma are gonna play Torino away. That's a gimme. For so many obvious reasons, Roma's gonna win that game. So we are gonna need to beat. We're gonna need to beat Venezia next week, and it's gonna need to be much better than today. Even though we won 2-0, overall it wasn't the best of performances. It doesn't really matter. However, against Venezia, you're gonna need to perform better to get that win over the line because they're gonna fight for everything, and Udinese were kind of fighting for absolutely nothing today, and that was kind of a massive help for us as well. But before we get into it, smash the like button. Let's get to at least 100 likes because it's almost the last match day, and it's getting tough out there. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's talk about the game. So it was very simple. You needed to beat Udinese, and you did beat Udinese. Now, what I will give the team credit for, even though Udinese had nothing to play for, we gave absolutely nothing away for 90 minutes. And now, is that because Udinese were poor? Yeah, they lost to Monza last week, so they're not good for that part, obviously. But we did what we had to do. We kept them at bay. We gave absolutely nothing away. They never caused us any real problems, and that's a good thing. I think that's a positive thing, obviously. The other positive thing is you won. You win a game with a goal from Nico Gonzalez, who has been horrible lately, and actually has been horrible. He was bad today. He was really bad today as well. That goal, that touch he took was horrible. However, it did set him up to score that goal, obviously, which is it's very helpful, and that hopefully does something with his confidence because his confidence is down the gutter. Like the way he plays is really poor. The other positive is you have Vlahovic scoring in his last home game for us. I'm pretty sure he's not going to play for us anymore next season, and that's a positive. Also, getting that feeling of, oh snap, I scored a goal, because I don't think Colomani had the best of games, but then again, not really much to do. Like, it was a very sloppy game. Technically, we didn't play a very clean game. I thought McKennie was poor. Conceição extremely wasteful, dribbling into people, dribbling out of bounds, over hitting crosses, under hitting crosses, misplacing passes. Like, it was really bad for him as well. So up front, it's hot and cold. There's no real consistency, and that's not helpful for anyone, So that's why I'm looking at, okay, at least these two players got a goal. Yildiz got 2 assists. The goal, actually, the way we worked to keep that alive, even though maybe there was a penalty claim and whatever, I do appreciate, like, I cannot fold the, how do you want to call it, the effort. The problem, the problem is the effort looks like that. It looks a bit, uh, it doesn't look good. That's what I'm trying to say. It looks a bit hasty, it looks sloppy, and it looks disjointed, all the things. And at the end, you put that in the blender and you get a 2-0 win result, and that's good. But the pressure is on. Now, this week, can we deal with the pressure? That is the biggest thing. Can we turn up to Venezia and put them away? They're a relegation side, literally. Like, literally, they're going to need to win and hope other teams do not win or take a point. Otherwise, they're playing Serie B football with a very poor squad. Di Francesco is actually working miracles. The question is now, can that team focus for the next 7 days, turn up at Venezia, and finish the job? Just get a win against a relegation side for once, get 2 wins in a row. It feels like it's been ages. Maybe somebody can look it up for me because I'm recording. When was the last time we won 2 games in a row? Because it could be very recently, but it feels like ages ago. So can we turn up? Can we be focused? Go out there and put a good performances in. Obviously, players like Thuram are coming back from suspension. Maybe Savona is back. Maybe Gatti's fit enough to play, even if you might say he doesn't need to play. But this is it right now. it's not fun. I'm not gonna lie. I cannot believe that I'm this invested in getting top four, because it does affect not just now, it also affects next season. That is my biggest worry. It affects next season, and next season is so important, for 1,000 different reasons. Is it important that I'm sitting here being stressful about the top four, about going to Venezia and beating Venezia? That's I'm really stressful for that. However, that's our situation. That's our situation, and it's gonna need to be better. It's gonna need to be much better than what we showed today. Now, if we play like today and we win 2-0 at Venezia, or even 1-0, I'll take it, obviously. However, Venezia will come for us. They will give us a much better game than Udinese. That's what I'm talking about. Udinese didn't give us really much of a game, so it made life a bit more easier for us. Even though we made it very difficult to unlock that game, in the end, we're gonna need to play much better against Venezia, especially going forward, because I think like we're gonna give away chances against Venezia because they are gonna throw the kitchen sink at us, and they will create by default. It's gonna happen. A corner here, whatever you want to call it. It's up to us to be level-headed up top, because I don't think we are that. And especially today, even Conceição was a minute 88, like, or maybe I don't know what minute it was, 90, whatever. And he could have played it very simple, and he dribbles into a player. When you had one player, it was 3 against 2. Like the focus, the decision making, they're gonna need to improve for next week. However, you never know. Maybe Torino show up against Roma, which I highly doubt. But obviously, football is football. You never know. But for today, you take the win. You keep it moving. Excuse me, and we will see where we will end up next week. Is it going to be Champions League? Is it going to be Europa League? Like whatever it's going to be, it will all be decided next week. We did what we had to do today, and Roma did what they had to do today as well. And now it is what it is. The games are set, and you're gonna need to be focused for a week and actually go out there and show that you know what's on the line. Even if you're not at the club, next season, what's on the line is a top 4 spot, not to be celebrated. However, for the club, very important. So let's see how that will go. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think about the result. That's 1. About the performance. 2 and 3. Do you think this team can be ready, charge up to go to Venezia and just get the win and wrap up the season? Very poor season, but still end up with a quote-unquote positive note, I guess. So yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will speak to you guys tomorrow to see what, it's in the news and what's out there. Ciao.